Shout out to the artist. And the art is giving. Wow. Let me start with you. Mina, I feel like the angle that I'm now going to use when I love myself even more out of this and the areas of my life, because right now, I think on Friday I did say that I'm one person who makes therapy. Therapy is a lifestyle for me. It's the same as going for a massage. It's the same as retail therapy for me, right? So at this point in my life, I'm in a season where I'm cutting emotional cords. By cutting emotional cords, I mean that if I know that my younger sister here is not good for me in any way, and I have some sort of emotion towards them. This I need you guys to understand this one. You know? I have some sort of emotion towards her, good or bad. Meaning that if I feel like she did not do well by me for the longest time, and when I look at her, like I leave in the morning, I leave my house in the morning feeling good about myself, feeling beautiful, but the minute I bump into her, she then dictates to me how I must feel without even saying a word. Just by her existing, then she then dictates to me how I must feel. My mood changes. Then from me being this happy person that I was, feeling beautiful, bubbly and stuff, I now change and I have some sort of emotion towards her, which is resentment or hatred or anything like that, right? These things also include things like feeling sorry for people. The other day I was talking about how a lot of people have fallen into the trap. I'm just going to give a typical example, right? You can fall into the trap of going back to your ex, not because you know they deserve you, but simply because you feel sorry for them. Then they come and they roll on the ground, they say, listen, there's no life without you. You take them back only to get paper two of whatever that is, whatever it is that made you guys go separate with the first time. So even feeling sorry for somebody that is not benefiting you, it's an emotion that you need to detach yourself from, right? There are people that we feel like if they can say sorry to us, it will do us good. But I can tell you now, regardless of whether somebody says sorry to you, it's got absolutely nothing to do with them, but more to do with you. Meaning that even if you didn't get that apology, you don't need validation from somebody who has done something wrong to you to come and say, okay, now you can heal. Now you can do better. Now you can detach. Now you can be this and that. So literally, what I'm learning about loving myself right now, what I need to love myself out of, is giving people powers to dictate to me how I must feel about the up. Because remember, I'm looking at you, but the feeling is not, you are not the feeling. I'm feeling that on the inside of me. So meaning that you are the boss of me. Whether I like you or not, you are the boss of me. If I become an emotional slave to you, you can be the boss of me even in your grave. Because a lot of us have people that we are still angry to, we are angry at because they died. You know, you're just married to your mom, or how could you just die at such a young age? Why didn't you just hold on? Meaning that even in their grave, some people did us wrong and they died without saying sorry. So you can't even go next to their grave because they are still controlling you from the grave, from the underground gang. They are still dictating to you how you must live your life. So the area of my life, or the chapter of my life that I'm at right now, is detaching emotional cords. Because the last session that I had with my therapist, they were asking me about a certain individual. They said, okay, a group of individuals. They said to me, how do you feel about these people? I said, I feel sorry for them. And she challenged me to say that you need to get to a point where you don't feel anything. Yes, you don't feel anything. And I know that it's crazy when you think about it to say, well, how do you switch off? You don't switch off. A lot of us, I always give an example with hunger pain, né? To say that the reason why we are able to eat food to get rid of hunger pain is because we can name it and say the pain that I'm feeling right now is called hunger pain. So if we didn't know that the pain that we felt was hunger pain, we would not know how to get rid of that pain is by us eating. Meaning that if you were feeling something in your stomach, right, and you don't know what it is, you can't give it a name, that means you would not even know how to deal with it. So because now you have already given a name to this pain that you are feeling, its name is hunger, then you know, how do I now get rid of this pain? I must eat. So meaning that in every area of your life, in everything that you are going through, in every challenge in your life, you need to give things names so that you must know, how do I then deal with them if I've given them a name? A lot of us don't want to give things names. We spoke about this on Friday to say we mask a lot. As black people, we think silence is golden and it's not. And I'm not even talking about silence when it comes to you speaking with other people. I mean, you being able to confront yourself, be realistic with yourself, and you say, okay, this thing that I'm feeling right now is sorry for somebody. This thing that I'm feeling right now is hatred for somebody. This thing that I'm feeling right now, I feel like a slave towards somebody because I love them so much, but the love that I have for them is not serving me, it's not benefiting me. So you being able to give names to things that you are going through, to things that are on the inside of you, and being able to say, for this pain specifically, this is the remedy for this pain. Because each and every one of the pains that you are going to feel, it's not a one size fits all where there will be, let's say maybe you have a knee problem, you must eat. No, the pain that you're feeling on your knee is not gonna go away because when you ate. If you have a back problem, you must go to my sister here. You're not gonna heal by eating. You get what I'm saying? So literally, if you give everything in your life a name, then you will be able to heal using the right method or the right remedy for everything that you are going through. So that is why it is very, very important that in everything that we were sharing on Friday, in everything that is a challenge that you are facing, that you have faced, things that you need to go confront yourself and heal from them, you need to be able to give those things a name. I have an emotion called this, and I would like to emphasize on the issue of saying the reason why most of us think that therapy does not work is because we are not honest to the therapist when we get there. We think that if you can tell a therapist, you know what, my ex did this to me, but I still feel something for them, then the therapist is gonna judge you to say, when you are stupid, you are this, you are that. But you being able to be honest about naming the feeling that you feel towards somebody or something, it gives them that remedy. Okay, this is how you are going to be able to deal with this, right? So name your sores, name your challenges, name your pains, whatever resentment that you feel, the emptiness, call it by its name. If it is emptiness that you are feeling, say it is emptiness, so that even when you want to work towards feeling that which is emptiness on the inside of you, you know that you're not going to use food, because it's not emptiness of what? Of hunger. It's emptiness of something else. And then when you challenge yourself in that regard to say, with this that I'm feeling, with this that I feel like I'm lagging, with this that I feel like, no man, somebody dropped me there, they left me there, nobody came to get me from there. You being able to give it a name, to say, I've been neglected as a child, I have abandonment issues. Give it a name and say, because I'm a people pleaser so much, I please people. Why do I please people? Because I think I even said this on Friday, to say now I used to be a people pleaser. I'm still working very, very hard towards getting myself out of that. It's hard, it's one day at a time, but sometimes I could even kick myself because I sometimes forget, I'm working on stopping to become a people pleaser, and I just please somebody, but it's not pleasing for me that I please them, right? So being able to be patient with yourself when you go to get yourself from whatever it is that you need to heal from is the key. Because now, as I'm saying that now as a people pleaser, I understand that the reason, and I remember whatever it is that you are, whatever child, because all these things that we are going through as adults, we are dealing with a lot of things, but they stemming from our childhood. Because a lot of us think that kids don't know anything, kids don't see anything. But at that age, where kids are unable to speak, they are able to absorb. And how they react to what they are absorbing, you will see by their behaviors when they are growing older. Even our behaviors. So an example with myself, I was a middle child. So because I was a middle child, the firstborn is a girl, I'm a girl, the one that comes after me is a boy. I always give an example of a trial and error method. If we know maths, there's a trial and error method. Because I feel like, okay, maybe I was the trial and error method because there was a girl, maybe they wanted a boy, but it didn't work out, it was another girl, then they had to go make another baby, then it was a boy, then now. This one that is in the middle is a trial and error method, right? So a lot of middle children have middle child issues, and I know that firstborns have got firstborn issues, lastborns have got lastborn issues, but I can relate so much with middle child issues, and they're not only applicable to middle children. So I feel like with my child, growing up as a child, I had to develop a fighting spirit so much that everything that everybody else was getting, they were getting them effortlessly, but for me, I had to put in twice the work to get the same thing. So that has done for me, okay, the good thing about that is that it has helped me work very hard for me. I work very hard. I'm a very hard worker. Ne? So that hard working spirit, I developed it from a young age to say, I need to work very hard to get what I need. But now I need to redirect my inspiration, because remember, all I knew from childhood was to be this child that wants to be recognized. So for me to be recognized, I need to do things that are pleasing to other people so that they can recognize me. But one thing I need you to understand is that when you are doing things so that people can recognize you, they don't take it as somebody who's doing something and they need to be rewarded. They give you that as a character. They say this is her character. She's a giving person. She's a selfless person. And when you are sitting here and after giving everything to everybody and you are left with nothing, and you say to yourself, if you are happy, I'm happy. Have you ever been in a situation where you ask somebody, so what would make you happy? And they say, if you are happy, I'm happy. No, there's no such thing as if you are happy, I'm happy. No. When you are a people pleaser, I know maybe some of us are culprits of saying that to people, to say, if you are happy, I'm happy. Because sometimes somebody will say, if you are happy, I'm happy. But the same person who is saying that still hurts you. And you ask yourself for how? Mara, you said if I'm happy, you are happy. Mara, you are hurting me. So that means you are also not happy. You get what I'm saying? So, as a people pleaser, as somebody you have abandonment issues. When you grow up, you get to a point where you feel like eventually when I keep doing these things to people, they will recognize me, they will appreciate me, and they will fill that void that I've had from the inside of me all the way. Ne? And that thing, we take it with us. Remember, this is a childhood issue. Ne? You take it with you to your relationship. This is very, very important, because I always say that the best relationship you can ever have is with yourself. And then you don't have to treat the next person as a hospital. It's beautiful that we treat each other like we're on vacation, because now when I have to take all my burden and give it to you and expect you to deal with it when I couldn't deal with it myself, it's a problem. And that's what a lot of us do, because we can't find love at home, we want to find it on the street, and then the next thing, when that person can't love us right, we end up in psychiatric wards, right? So now, with that childhood, with all those childhood issues that I've had, I took that even to relationships. Now I'm old now. I take that to relationships. When I get into a relationship, I'm Bob the Builder. I get there. Even when you have your stuff and you are established and you are okay, wambora, because then I won't feel useful. I'm useless, because if I'm getting to you and you already have your stuff, then what am I going to do? How are you going to see that I'm a steering, I'm capable? So meaning, my type must always be that type that needs help. So that now, when I'm busy helping people out, I will feel useful. And the thing is, you are expecting that the reward of that is people actually loving you back. You think when you do a lot of stuff for people and sacrificing yourself, because of that trauma that you have as a child, you think that in return, people are going to love you back. Mara, in return, people just see you as, no, that one, she's in the Ministry of Giving. Don't worry, go to her. She will sort you out. You get what I'm saying? And that makes the void that is on the inside of you grow even bigger, because you don't understand, Mara, I'm doing everything right. We even go as far as saying, you wouldn't be nothing without me. I took you from nothing and I put you here, and is this how you thank me? And in most cases, people don't even ask us to do stuff for them. We volunteer because we have this trauma that we have this void on the inside of us that we're trying to fit in by just being there for people, doing things for people, hoping that they will worship the ground that we walk on. In as much as we are not going to say it with our mouths, to say, I'm doing all these things because I want to worship the ground that I walk on. But the truth of the matter is that there's a void on the inside of you. There's a child on the inside of you who is crying, and there's no any other person out there who's going to come and rescue that child except for you. You are the one who's going to go back and get that child and understand, where exactly did I miss it? What have I been doing wrong? What is it that I've been doing? What got me to be this person that I am? Once you break that down by yourself and you say, okay, I can see that I please people. Mara, when did I start this whole habit of pleasing people? When you take it all the way back, you realize, oh no, man, I've been fighting for a position in the family for the longest time, and I took that with me even in relationships. I took that with me even in my work. They know when you are the snitch of the office, you must be recognized to say, no, the boss knows when I'm here, everything must be sorted. Not because other people are not capable of doing the same thing that you are doing, but simply because when you have a void that you came with from home, and you are hoping that anywhere you go, any encounter that you have with people will fill that void for you. And it's not going to happen until you wake up one day and you say, listen, it's my responsibility. It's nobody else's responsibility to fill the void which is on the inside of me, but it is my responsibility. So when you know, and it's hard. It's not easy to do that, because you would rather put your things aside, your issues aside, and you say, listen, this man is going to be a man of noble character. I'm going to make sure I'm backing him up like this. I'm going to make sure I'm supporting everybody. But when I'm sitting here, I'm going to be talking about the people that have succeeded. I'm going to be talking about the people that have made it in life, because I was there. I was supporting them. I was doing everything for them. Mara, when you look at yourself and what you have done for yourself, a simple thing, go to a camp, unwind, enjoy, say thank you, Muzimba. You don't do that. Because when you are not looking for recognition from self, you are looking for recognition from other people because of the void that is on the inside of you. And let me tell you something, that void that you have on the inside of you is nobody's business. And no amount of appreciation, no amount of people worshipping the ground that you are walking on will ever fill that void, unless if you go back to that child, to whichever age, to whatever it is that whatever encounter that you've had. Because like I'm saying, I'm giving an example with myself with what I've gone through, but I do believe we all have different experiences. We've all seen different things in life. So, but then along these walks of life, we are all going to be hurt. We are going to fall down. We rise up again. We are going to go through stuff. That is why there are people that you hate something so much. And when they ask you, why do you hate this thing so much? You hate it because you did it a lot when you were a child. I don't like chicken feet, guys. I'll give a simple example with that. I don't like chicken feet because when I was growing up, my mom would buy boxes of chicken feet because we don't want to eat more raw. So she would buy boxes of chicken feet. Every second day she's cooking chicken feet. Every second day she's cooking chicken feet. So like a chicken feet to a point where even now I didn't eat the chicken feet. Mara, there are people there are certain things that they hate. And I remember as a child, I didn't have a say. I didn't have a voice to say, I don't want chicken feet anymore. I'm going to avoid eating chicken feet. But because that is what was presented to me, that was what my mind as a child could comprehend. What I did with that, I absorbed. I was absorbing a lot of things. As a young child, what you do is you absorb. And when you grow up to be an adult, whatever it is that you've been absorbing, that's what you are taking out. That's what you are dishing out. You dish out to your children. Naibile at my house, hey, I don't want you. I just let them cook chicken feet because it's my problem. It's not everybody else's problem. So that's what we do with a lot of things in our lives, to say, because of this thing that I suffered as a child and I didn't have a voice by then to speak, but I absorbed it. I'm not ready to sit and face it and say, hey, Wenda, perseverance, this is what the problem is and you need to deal with this, and it's got absolutely nothing to do with other people. I can't now sit in a group of people like this and say, no, we're not eating chicken feet. There's no way we are going to eat chicken feet in this camp, simply because now I have issues with chicken feet from my childhood. So that's what we do a lot of times when we go to places where we expect people to come and understand, because I want to feel special in this area of my life because of my traumas, but now I don't want to deal with them. I want everybody else to deal with with my traumas. I want everybody to suffer the consequences. Everybody must tiptoe around me because of this specific thing that I refuse to deal with. I would rather put that aside and focus on, so what happened? What could have happened? What is this? What is that? I would rather distract myself by being the steering of the world, but not dealing with my own issues. So this is but again, this is the chapter of my life that I thought that I should share with you guys. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm dealing with, and I'm challenging every single one of us here with what we've shared. I'm still going to give the platform to everybody, to anybody who wants to share or add or give us some of their lessons that they've learned from Mabani or day before yesterday up to now, to say what is it that you can share with us, what is it that can be a take home for us. But basically for me, that is the area of my life where I'm at, and I'm still learning. In as much as I claim to be the CEO of self-love, I always put a disclaimer to say
I call myself the CEO of self-love, but I'm still learning every day, and I'm failing every day, but I'm picking myself up. I've put myself under pressure to say the one thing that I'm going to learn how to do for the rest of my life is to love myself. That's why I call myself that. So I'm gonna give the platform to anybody who would like to add on to say something, and we will take